Thompson, test editor with Kitesurfing Magazine. I'm here with two legends, Kevin Langeree and Damien Girardin, designer, pro rider. You guys, Reedin kites. Tell us about it. How did it come about?
Yeah, Reedin Kites, we're very proud, of course, to be here for the first time at a trade show. We actually launched Reedin right during the COVID pandemic, so it's actually really cool to finally be in a trade show and show, you know, the industry and all the people down here our products. I know a lot of people have seen our products online already, but now being able to have the time for everyone to go more in depth into our products and let them try our kites and wings is it's pretty cool.
It's amazing to have you here.
Yeah, we're super proud, super stoked. You know, last year we were hoping that it would happen. Didn't happen.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
and it's been a good one. We've had wind, we've had lots of dealers.
Good
turnout.
sure. It's been busy.
Yeah. No, super good. Yeah, it's been really good to be here, and I think you know, it makes me proud standing here as well because Reedin basically started with just an idea between Damien and I. You know, we've been, you know, we had multiple ideas, but it seemed like that concept of starting our own brand just kept on sticking around, and we kept on building on it, and then eventually it felt like it was the right time to launch it, and we did so like a year and a half ago, and it's a lot of hard work. It's been very scary sometimes as well, but you know, being able to make products that we are very proud of without any limitations is just, you know, it just fuels our creativity. It feels like this is only the beginning, and you know, sky's the limit, and that feels very satisfying.
Well, it's amazing. Your kites look great out there, and we're excited to get on them.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
So what do you want to show us today? This is the. You want
to show you a lot.
You want to show us?
We got a lot of cool stuff.
Start with the kites.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I think maybe first thing maybe we talk about like the philosophy of our products.
Yes.
Kevin touched a little bit on it. It was like really the freedom of doing what we wanted, and I think what we really wanted in the end, it's a little selfish maybe in some ways, but it's really products that we would want to buy ourselves.
Yes.
We want to ride ourselves. And for example, on the kites, the Supermodel, we only have one kite in the range, and it's not because like I'm lazy and I don't want to design more kites. It's because we truly believe that one kite, if it's a good kite, it's a kite that's going to work for everybody, and mainly every disciplines of kiting. You know, if it turns properly, has the right pull, Kevin's going to jump higher. You're going to jump higher. When you're going to ride a wave, you're going to have a better bottom turn because you got a nice pull in your turn. When the kite is good at drifting like the Supermodel is, it's going to be great for wave riding onshore. Yeah. But then we take a foil, like, you know, we have a whole line of foil boards and foils now. That's going to be an amazing foiling kite. And really what to us matters is how the kite feels, how it turns, and how it reacts. And then you get used to that kite. And really when the conditions are changing, you're changing board. You go from a twin tip to a wave board to a foil to, you know, eventually a snow kite or whatever board you want. But the kite is really, you know, it's all about how it flies and the performance of the kite. So, you know, for us, that's really important. We have the similar philosophy for the twin tips. Our twin tips are not dedicated free ride, freestyle, because really, you look at Kevin, he can take a twin tip as long as he's got a good grip on it. He can go fast, he goes to chop nicely. Yeah. Then he can jump 100 feet high, and then average kiter is gonna have more, you know, bigger jump also. It's gonna be super comfortable, and you're not gonna change board because you want to do a 100 pass. Kevin can do a 100 pass with our board just as well as a board that would be dedicated freestyle. And we believe that really when you go twin tipping, you're going twin tipping, and comfort is the most important on the board. The better the board rides, the more fun you're gonna have. And in the end, that's really what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and the more you progress as well. Like I feel like that's also part of our philosophy. Like the gear needs to feel natural, you know. I love to say, the Supermodel, for example, is an extension of my body. Right. I know where it is. Connected. Yeah, I feel like, you know, it doesn't do any weird things. It doesn't, you know, it creates a very constant power. It's not like all of a sudden you get pulled off your board, and I think that is not only good for me when I do a big kite loop, but it's also good for people that are just learning kiting or just, you know, want to cruise up and down. You want a kite that you can rely on, and for me, I know if I do, you know, a kite loop board off and I'm upside down, I know where my kite is, and I know 100% sure it's going to catch me just before I land. And having that confidence really makes me be able to focus more on my tricks and progress further.
Sure.
And I think you know, that's something I really, really love about the Supermodel.
And I would add one more thing again on the product. You can see he's like more into writing, and I'm very much into product. But
Perfect combo.
what's really important for us too is like the amount of time personally I spend designing every detail of the product to make sure that everything is perfect. You know, like I could go through every stitches in this kite has a reason for being there, you know. But in our boards too, like the manufacturing we choose is only high-end manufacturing, so we have the best quality we could get. You know, our wave boards here, they're virtually unbreakable, and they're all made in Europe with European materials. They cost a lot more money to make, but we're super proud of them because, you know, we know a customer is buying it and he's going to keep it for several seasons. He's not going to go through in a few months like you would get with some boards that are like way cheaper to make. Right. And that's something that's really important to us, like the quality of our product, you know, our bars are, you know, every step of the production, the QC and every details, I do spend a lot of time on those, and I love doing it because to me it's really important for a consumer when he buys our product that he, you know, he's just super excited by the performance, the quality, but also the durability of the product. You know, I always see myself as the buyer. Like we said, we make product that we would want to buy, and I'm always an excited customer when I buy a product that I'm excited about. So I want to create that to
and I think the beauty with Damien is like working with Damien. He's always so many steps ahead, you know. And I think the best thing with Damien is he really puts himself in the customer's shoes, you know. So he really is really good at looking what that consumer might want to have, and we try to give that consumer or customer the full experience, from packaging to all the details on the kites, the performance of the kites, and that's I think something that really separates us from the other brands.
Well, you both had so much experience building up to this, so you're in the perfect position to do that, right?
Yeah. So, you know, we're maybe we're a new name in the industry, but like our knowledge, you know, we have more than
more than new company name, but legends.
Yeah, we've been around for a little bit.
I mean, I love designing products. You know, I love everything we've been doing the past 2 years. It's been just, you know, I like, you know, people say, oh, you work really hard. I'm like, no, I just play really hard. I just love it. And same with skating. So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's living the dream.
But yeah, maybe I can go a little bit of like, I don't want to go in too many details to make the video too long, but I think one key thing on the Supermodel is, you know, apart from the fact that we have a profile that's, you know, I know works really well, is very stable and jumps high and glides well. Really again, it comes down to how the kite feels. And one thing that's really important for us is how it turns. You know, I think to me the turning of a kite it's the start of everything as far as how a kite is going to react and how you're going to have fun riding. So we have worked on like the shape of the wingtip, the way the seams and the leading edge are made, the leading edge diameter, the size of the struts, which are pretty thin. Everything is made so the kite engages the turns really quick to bar input, and then it does not ever stall during a turn. The whole idea of our Supermodel, I mean, in really what I'm looking for in the design is that you accelerate through the turn. Like the kite does not stop. Again, it's going to make you jump higher because when you send your kite, if the kite keeps on accelerating, then you get that extra yank and you jump higher. It makes wave riding better, and it makes also
your kite more predictable too.
And also you can go in less wind because your kite, when you do a little S, you know, eighths or whatever, however you call that, it keeps on accelerating, creating more apparent wind for your kite. So you have a kite that has a superior low end, but you keep all the great high end of the kite because it's not like it's a grunty kite. I really don't like grunty kites.
More
Kevin doesn't like grunty kites.
Power with no stall.
Exactly. And so you know,
stuff going on.
You could be riding a kite a meter smaller than you would have before, just because if you know how to get it going, you really generate a lot of speed. And then we got the great high end. I mean, Kevin rides Cape Town 40 knots with a 9 meter, you know.
You can hold it down for sure.
Like I'm seriously on the 5 meter when he's on his 9, and you can still hold it, you know.
And
so
I think that's the thing.
Lose any of its steering.
No, and
that was also really important.
That's the beauty, I think, as well. Like the wide range of the wind range of the kite is just really nice. You know, the low end is really good due to that what Damien was just saying. Like the steering, you could generate a lot of power. But then on the high end, you can hold it down and it keeps its profile super nicely as well. It doesn't, like a lot of kites you ride overpowered and start to deform or flutter, and you know the Supermodel just stays super stable, keeps its profile really nicely, so that way you get, you know, extra confidence, because you know in strong winds that's the only thing you want, right? You want to make sure you feel confident on your kite, and you know, with that stability in the Supermodel, it definitely gives you a lot of confidence.
Amazing. I love that you guys put both your names on here.
All right, well,
Yeah, just in case we forget our names.
Approved by Kevin Langeree.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big
Mine.
statement when you have a guy that level that approves. I
Yeah,
like to
I
call
think
him.
so too.
I like to call Kevin the super kiter. You know, he kites like all of us, except. I mean, yeah, he does. He does wave ride. He does twin tip. He does foil. Except he does it so much better, so much higher than any one of us. So it's a good.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. I gotta say, it is annoying. We were kiting last
Sorry,
week and it
guys,
was
yeah.
a little annoying.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, you want to go through the twin tip quickly?
Sure.
Again, like I say, those are just, in our eyes, just great twin tip for twin tipping. The goal was really make them comfortable. And there's the difference between the two boards. Visually, you can't really see it. The Kef Pro has 2 carbon stringers in here, and the Super E does not have them. Super E and Kef Pro, the goal is that they ride the same, depending on how fast you ride. If you ride like Kevin, or if your rider likes to go fast, the Kef Pro is going to have a response time that gives you what we think is a perfect response. And if you ride slower, at a normal speed, I would say like what most riders would do, then you go on a Super E and the board its reflex is a little slower, so you get the same response. So really the boards are made to feel the same, but this is for a more advanced rider who likes to go fast, and this is for a rider that just rides at a normal speed. So that was really our goal, but the goal of the board is like a lot of track, a lot of grip, going to chop as good as possible and being super comfy. You know?
And light.
What's on the bottom?
Fins.
Well, we have some channels in the bottom. I'm a big fan of like the channels in between
Some slate.
the feet here to get extra grip where you don't have the fins. We have little channels here. The center has those channels going, but they get flatter so they don't get in the way of the water flow that goes this way.
Yeah.
And what's really awesome is the quality of this board. Like I say, we're made in Europe, and it makes a big difference. There's 100 years of making skis embedded in the European factories, because that's what they've been doing, and the way everything is made is just so superior. Like you can take the whole production batch, you're gonna measure the thickness here. Every board is pretty much the same to a millimeter. Sorry, not even a millimeter. Yeah. It's like they all look the same. They all weigh the same. So you know that every board you buy from us, there's not a better one or heavier one or something. They all like the quality is unbelievable, and we didn't have one board breaking.
And the thing I like a lot is the 5 cm fins. I think some people might think they're a bit big, but the beauty of this shape, I think, is they are not very long. They're like long as in this way and high, but they are 5 cm. And the beauty of that is that it'll still give you that good grip that you want when maybe riding in choppy conditions and you want to pop. You get that grip, but the length really makes a big difference. If we would make that thing longer, it would be more like riding a train. And if you would land a bit sideways, then it will tip you over. So the fins really have a beautiful balance where they do give you that grip, but if you land not perfect, then you can still get away with it. And then the foot straps.
I was gonna say we should not forget our binding.
Yeah.
Our binding
super
is
comfy.
super comfy. It's got the 4 attachment. To trim it like that. We have that really cool little pocket here. We call this hardware storage, which means when you travel, you put your screws in here. You never ever lose your screws ever again in your life.
And that's nice.
And that's really cool. And they're the shape of the pad makes it that all feet fit in it. We do have a smaller pad for smaller feet, a smaller strap, sorry, but the pad is very big enough that it fits everybody. And yeah, we've had super good response on that binding. It has when you take the screws off just enough. You can see here you can trim to the degree exactly. There's a little
plate where you can
you can just rotate it, so you don't have to take it off all the way to turn the angle.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're super proud of all the gear we do. We also make foil boards right here, the feather boards. full carbon board. We have a 17 and a 21 liter board with our flight attendant foil mounted on it right now. And the goal with this foil is a 1280. We think that for kiting it's awesome because it allows you to ride at a slow speed, which means that you're going to land more tacks and jibes because you don't have to go full speed. They're also great, of course, for winging. They pump super well, so when you catch a wave, you don't have to really get the power back from your wing or your kite, depending on what you're doing. So yeah, we're super excited about those foils. They take off at really low speed, but they also go really fast.
They seem to have a little bit of.
Yes, we have that shape allows for when they ride really well close to the water. Like if you want to get the tip out of the water, they're super easy to do so. And that's something that we think it's really fun to do. So we wanted a foil. We worked on making sure the foil was doing that.
Yeah.
We have a quite short fuselage, so they're super maneuverable. But because the front and back wings are so well designed together, they're still super stable. So that's key. As far as the boards, there's a lot of shaping going on in them. Triple concave on the bottom. The idea of the triple concave is when you go at slow speed, it gives a little bit of better track than if the board was flat. And also, mainly when you do a touchdown, it disperses the water better, so you don't get that big stop from the water. It's a lot more forgiving than it would. And then the concave deck, because I think we all agree that it's more comfy to stand on it. The nose is convex. The idea is that it's more aerodynamic, especially on the bigger board. You feel it even more, and also prevents water from. If the deck was concave on the nose, the water could stand here when you ride. There it goes away, so you don't have extra weight here. Of course, the board is short as possible, so you don't have much inertia when you turn, because that's what we all want to do when we foil.
It's great all around size. Are
Yeah.
you doing more than one size for it?
We have two sizes: the 17 liter, which is a 3.9, and the 21, which is a 4.1. And yeah, they're full carbon, super strong. We have a full PVC deck on them. We have PVC stringers for the fin boxes. They go all the way to here pretty much. So all the structure goes straight to the PVC. So the board is super durable. And
let's flip it upside down so we get a shot of the actual foil. Very nice.
the connection here is super stiff because we got the 4 screws.
Oh yeah. Most
So
people
it's super
only have
durable.
3,
Yeah. So we have it doesn't move at all, and with a wide plate on the other side, so it is super stiff.
Cool. I'd like to try this later today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Before we get on the flight home.
Go quick.
Yes.
All right.
That's it now?
Well,
Or
then
do
we
we have
go
more?
through the
The
wing
wings.
gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check out the
18
wings.
minutes.
18 minutes. We set up front and we keep it short,
Well,
but
check
I hope
out-
you guys are still
We
watching.
can make it longer though.
Well, thanks guys. That was amazing through your guided wing. We'll do that in a
Okay.
sec.
Yeah.
But
Oh, sorry.
really appreciate you taking us through this stuff.
Oh no, we love it.